a scholarship to play or go to Iowa State.
Where's she from originally, your mom?
Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
So what's it been like getting to do all of this for the team that you grew up watching?
I mean, you get here and you look on TV and you're like, wow, I can't imagine myself being there. And then you're here and you're like, oh wow, I can do this. I can handle this.
Anything you're still particularly trying to work on or tweak looking ahead?
Well, I mean, I like to say how I've been performing is good, so I guess the one critique I have is I'd like to keep doing what I'm doing, like see how well I can replicate my, I'd say.
Logan's only got about 10 minutes if anybody wants to talk to him.
Hey, Drew. Maybe you can ask about this. I'm just looping in, but you have the same kicking coach as Keith, right?
Yes.
How has that training helped you? Did you watch a lot of Keith, I assume, in your days?
Yes. So I said earlier, we have like the same like baseline form. I mean, every kicker is different, of course, but there's some that are way more similar than others. And us coming from the same coach, that coach teaches like the same like basic fundamental principles. So say I'm struggling with something, it'd be very beneficial to go to Keith because he would know where I'm coming from.
So your style, you would say your style mimics his?
Yes. So I don't know if you noticed, but like when I put my hand out and the arm up, I mean Keith didn't like the hand, but he'd always have this arm like kind of tucked like this. It keeps your chest straight, and that was a big problem I had in the spring ball. So
When did you make that tweak? Did you make that tweak?
so after spring ball, I went home for a little bit, and that's my coach. My coach is at Charlotte, which is about 2.5 hours away from my house. And I was training with him, and then he eventually made me put the hand out, which quieted my shoulders. It would make the ball essentially go straighter and narrow the gap between the kick here versus the kick here.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. How did that help you on the 51-yarder?
He actually, that coach sent me plan for adrenaline. So what he means by that is like when you have adrenaline, you tend to swing a lot harder. And when I would swing harder, he's seen it in warm-ups. The ball tends to like go left, which it did in that game. So like, I guess if he didn't remind me of that, I might have missed left. But I went out there and I was calm and composed. I had hit like a 57 or 58 in warm-up, so I knew I could get it there like easily. So I kind of swung easy. It still went left, of course, as you saw, but went in.
Looked like it was really good not good from 60, but had distance for 60.
Yeah.
What do you think's the longest that you could go with the right circumstances?
Well, in that game or like any game?
Just in Jacksonville.
In Kinnick, I have hit a 62-yarder before, so going towards the north end zone, but I had some wind. So.
How quickly do you come out before a game and kind of check the wind, and what do you do? What is there a process there?
Before the game?
Yeah.
Well, I go. We arrive at the stadium,
Yeah.
and then I immediately like get dressed, like ready for our primer.
Yeah.
And then I go out there and I like walk the field up and down, like take laps, just throwing grass up to see how the wind's doing. Because usually it could be like this down in this area, it could be like this down in this area. It's always changing. So I try to figure out the wind like immediately. And then we look on the weather app to like see how fast the wind's going, because that can adjust like where I am on the goalpost. I think we come out, actually warm up probably an hour before kickoff. Actually warming up on our kicks.
Does Keith had he given you any advice on, hey, it kind of swirls over in the north end zone, but it doesn't over in the south?
Yeah. Well, Coach LeVar does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because he's been in the stadium
Forever.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you hit a good ball, majority of the time it should go in regardless, unless it's like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard about